So is Evan.
Sorry, I'm busy trying to do this one last thing.
Really? Because we're live right now.
Yeah, I know.
Of course.
I'm showing off my professionalism. Look, I'll explain after the show why I have to do this, but for right now, yes, we are officially starting.
You don't have to explain, dude. We know. All right? There's a big box of dick, and you want to get back to it. We got it.
Actually, that wasn't what it was.
Sure. It's okay, Evan. It really is.
Hold on. Okay, sorry.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to High Class Geek News, where we have no concept of specialism. Yay!
Yeah, sorry about that, folks. It's
Today's episode
everything
is
has
brought
been
to you
going
by the
behind
letters.
for me today.
Today's episode is brought by the letters F and U.
Fuck you.
And the number
videos
one.
all over the place. Anyway, as usual, welcome to High Class Geek News, where we don't tell you what the news is, we just tell you what we think about it. Well, we don't report it. Anyway, I'm, of course, a friendly neighborhood geekazoid, Evan Ransom. Everyone's favorite smartass is with us today, the Angry Monkey.
Hi! I'm back! I know you missed me! Well, not really.
And he'll be making lots of comments about my box of dicks. Well, it's my dick in a box.
No, it's not your dick in a box. It's box of dicks.
No,
Believe me,
because
it's
only
like-
one dick produced everything that's in the box.
Yes, but it's a box
It's like
of dick.
dick in a box.
No, because it's not your dick in a box. It is a box of dick.
This is going to be an interesting night.
But it's a hard box of dick.
Exactly, which is why Evan is so
Well, you have
excited.
to have, well, actually, the dick is hard. The box is just what you put it in. Chixie's here too, everybody.
Oh my God.
Yay!
And my laptop finally decided, yeah, I'll let you do it tonight.
Yay!
Yes, and now as a reward, you get to listen to John and I talk about my box of dick.
Now, can I ask a question?
Odd conversation.
Well, Evan, we all know your predilection for dick in all shapes and sizes. You know, be it in a box or in a dress.
She wasn't wearing a dress that night, John. She wasn't wearing a dress that night.
She was wearing a miniskirt. Counts as a dress. Corset, miniskirt, fishnets, alcohol.
Sorry, I'm too busy remembering what it was like when all that was off, but that's another story entirely.
It was firm and virile.
But this particular dick, which I keep in a box, is my collection of a 3-volume hardcover set of all of Philip K. Dick's novels, which being me, the mature intellectual that I am, naturally I put up on Facebook. It's a box full of hard dick.
Yep.
And, of course, then, went a while before Evan mentioned, I'm surprised John hasn't mentioned anything about my dick in a box, which I had to explain that it wasn't his dick in a box, but merely a box of dicks.
Just one dick, not dicks.
Ah, but it's more than one book, so therefore it's dicks plural.
Yes, but there's only one dick involved in all the books. Therefore, it's dick singular.
Hard dicks.
The box
It's
of
a-
dick.
Exactly. It's a box of dick. You may,
It's my
You
dick
may
in a
own it.
box!
no, again, not your dick in a box. It is your box
Okay,
of dick.
fine. It's everyone's dick in a box. For he belongs to us all.
Not even going there, but move it on.
All right. Tonight's episode, Goodbye Woodhouse. Who wants to guess the main story?
That would be that the voice actor who played Woodhouse, who's also an original cast member of SNL, has passed away this week.
Yeah. So we
That's
started.
right.
We're really starting on that kind of a note.
I have before.
Yeah. I needed a main story. Sadly, that seems to be the biggest thing out of everything I got listed that seemed to be there. So yes, we are starting with the loss of George Coe, age 86. original cast member for SNL, or Woodhouse from Archer, dependent entirely on how old your arse is. Whenever a funny man dies, we take it seriously here.
Yep.
But we don't like to stay depressed, so we're going to move on to film. Coming out this week, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation and Vacation.
There's only one of those I want to see.
I kind of want to see Tom Cruise hanging off of an airplane.
Yeah, I only want to see him hanging off an airplane if he's immediately going to let go and not have a parachute. And only in real life and not in a movie.
He would probably do it and survive.
No, only his teeth would survive, because I'm pretty sure those bitches are titanium. He's going to get...
Coming out on home video. Home. Don't bother. Just don't.
Oh, no.
Comet, The Water Diviner, and my personal pick for this week, Justice League, Gods and Monsters.
I want to see that.
Yeah, it's on my agenda. I finally just got around to watching Justice League War, and that was fucking epic.
Oh god, is that the one with the Dark Side one?
Yeah.
That was horrible.
I enjoyed it just for the simple fact that I wasn't a big fan of the voice acting, but they really portrayed the dick Batman that I really wanted.
It was a bad adaptation. It was a really bad adaptation of the first Justice League New 52 story, which actually is, I have to admit, pretty good. There are just less things that just really, really bother me. There are things that do well. You never get complete shit from DC Animated, but
the voice acting was off for me.
The original story was weak.
Yeah, the voice acting was off for me. The animation was good, just the voice acting didn't fit.
But if we don't get good animation out of DC Animated, we might as well consider DC animation to be a dying art.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny too because the actor, I've never researched who the actor they got to do the voice of Batman, but it was very clear he was trying to be Kevin Conroy and failing miserably.
Probably the same. No, that guy actually does pretty decent. I was thinking maybe the guy who did the voice for Batman in Arkham Origins, who was trying to do Kevin Conroy, didn't quite get it right, but did a very good job getting as close as he could. But anyway, moving on. 2 trailers came out this week. One I watched, one I didn't. The one I didn't get to see yet was The Good Dinosaur, the Disney Pixar film. Did either of you guys get to see it?
Yeah, not really impressed. You know, it's sitting there going, Pixar, I know you're hurting for stories, but by the same token, you can still make some good stuff. Like, you made Big Hero 6, and I was a happy camper. Or was that DreamWorks?
Big Heroes. No, that was neither. It was just Disney. Disney without Pixar.
Yeah. Regardless, Pixar's got some potential. They're just really desperate for... I don't know whether or not they just need to completely hire a new writing staff to come up with new stuff, or what.
Maybe this is one of those things where they actually produced all their number one ideas so quickly that now they're in the secondary ideas that they never really had the chance to fully form yet.
Either that, or they were hoping to bank on the popularity of Jurassic Park coming out this year and get a little more buzz for it.
No, it takes too long to make these movies for that to be the possibility.
Well, it would have drummed up interest.
No, I mean, by the time they actually had to start pre-production for this, considering CG animation for a big budget picture, Jurassic World would have barely been a gleam in some studio exec's eye. Point.
Moving on.
The other one was Spectre, and this one I fucking watched.
That one was well done.
Yes. It's Christoph Waltz as a Bond villain.
Can we bring Mads Mikkelsen back to work with him, because that would be epic to me.
Dr. Schultz teams up with Hannibal to take out the ultimate British spy.
Oh, God. Hannibal versus James Bond. I would love to see him keep Bond alive for months and force him to eat his own appendages.
For that one, I want them to break from canon and just do one where it's Bond in World War II. He did fight in World War II, or in the original novel canon. Just saying.
I can get behind that, and I have the absolute perfect homage thing to do to that.
Okay.
Bond in World War II is Christopher Lee's instructor.
God, that'd be awesome. In pre-production news, looks like the Logan's Run remake has a writer-producer, Simon Kinberg, who you may know from his work with the X-Men movies, mostly under Bryan Singer. So it looks like he'll be writing and producing that film, which I know as an excuse to get that one British girl, I think her name was Jennifer or Jessica Agater. It seems like one of those movies that was made just to have an excuse to get her naked as often as possible. I'm so sorry for that actress. I feel like that's what she's known for now. Anyway, also, a manga called 6,000 Rokusen has a producer by the name of Mark Meadoboy, who apparently has been working with, I think it was Nippon Productions or something like that. They basically want to take this deep-sea horror manga and make it into a live-action movie to be released in the States.
I'm still waiting for the other things to come out. Where's my Cowboy Bebop live action? Where's my Attack on Titans live action? Where's my Death Note live action? I know they're fucking coming, but it's not fucking here yet.
Attack on Titan. Death Note has been released in America on home video for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
But it needs to be in my theater. I want to watch it on the big screen.
Just buy a movie theater and put it up there. You know what America really needs, though? Minecraft the movie.
Yeah.
And we have a director.
Yeah, you do.
No.
Director Rod McElhenney. And I forget what he... Oh, it's the guy who co-created, is a producer for, has directed episodes of, and is one of the stars of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, if I remember correctly.
Why do we need this? This does not need to be a thing.
Because money?
Because
we can always get lucky, and we might get the video game version of what turned out to be the Lego movie.
But again, it's Minecraft. There's no plot.
Yes, there is.
Well, if you want plot...
Game.
That's right. The Ender Dragon, my friend. The Ender Dragon.
Well, if you're looking for something with more plot, John, you can see Steelheart, which will be directed by Sean Levy and is being written by screenwriter Carter Blanchard, which will be an adaptation of the, I forget the guy's name, Brandon Sanderson, young adult novel, seen as a sort of anti-superhero story.
There was one other trailer that came out this week that I didn't see on the lists that I thought we needed to discuss. A trailer for a brand new Ultraman film came out this week, and I am
on the source page.
God. I don't know. I was busy.
I needed fat material earlier this week, and you're telling me you had it in your pocket this whole time.
Busy. Jensen Ankles is not going to pay himself.
It's funny because it's true. You know, it's going to be hilarious if we wind up getting a video comment from him, and it's Jensen Ackles basically painting himself in mess. You're like, look, I did it for you, John.
Actually, the funny thing is, I joined the New World this month, or this week, as you know it, and finally opened up a Twitter account for my art, and I will admit I did it for one sole reason, and it really wasn't for my art.
Who are you hitting on?
No, actually,
You're hitting on Nathan Fillion, aren't you?
Actually, no, Nathan Fillion was not the reason.
You almost stopped hitting on him, though.
I want to use Will Wheaton as one of the models for my faces, and I haven't been able to find a good face online, so I asked one of my friends who's a bit nerdier than I am, like, okay, what's the best way to get a hold of Will Wheaton? To which he said, Twitter or Reddit. I'm like, well, fuck, I'm starting a Twitter feed because I have no idea how fucking Reddit works.
I don't think anyone does. I think it just works. It's kind of like Hollywood.
Exactly. So I started a Twitter feed so I could bug Will Wheaton to send me better pictures of his face so I can paint him.
Because that's everyone's goal in life, to one day just paint Will Wheaton.
That wasn't on my list.
Yeah.
Well, moving on, sorry. Diatribe.
No, that's good. Those two over there are being a little too quiet, and for a second there I was worried I was going to have to break that by saying Uranus.
Pluto's.
Muppets.
I'm looking at the Sex Muppets right there.
Do you feel like Statler and Waldorf judge your performance?
I just wait. One video one day is going to be from the makers of High Class Geek News. Sex Muppets from Uranus.
Get diarrhea.
And it's an entire movie done MST3K style of Statler and Waldorf watching porn.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! I want Statler and Waldorf commentary for porn now. I would watch the hell out of those videos.
Wrecked him, damn near killed him. Oh!
You know what the difference is between this movie and the actor? What? The movie's not very long. Really? I was thinking the other was the actor. Oh!
Wow.
What's the difference between that actress and a light bulb? You can unfuck a light bulb.
Either way, it's getting screwed. No. Well, speaking of who's got the bigger dick, Jurassic World has made it to number 3 in the all-time best-selling movie list, knocking Avengers down a notch.
The sad thing is, I'm not entirely mad about that.
I'm annoyed about it just a little bit. Not so much that I'm going to go on one of my rants, but I'm sorry, just as a movie in and of itself, like, take out public opinion, it's mediocre as fuck.
Yeah, but it followed, I hate to say, I mean, you got to give it credit for being a formulaic action film. It delivered on all counts.
I give it credit as the Godzilla movie I was supposed to get last year. And didn't.
You mean you weren't satisfied with the one with Matthew Broderick and Jean Reno? Because yeah, that's the best one we got for a while.
That was a good monster movie, but a shitty Godzilla movie.
It wasn't even a good monster film, dude. Cloverfield beat that one.
Consider the time it was coming out and how rare it was to even get a giant monster movie in America.
I suppose. They're all just Pacific Rim knockoffs now, as far as I'm concerned.
And the cartoon was good.
Not really.
But...
moving on.
But no, it's Godzilla that... I'm sorry, once you have the monster fight at the end, then it's Godzilla's movie. And yet they still focused on the guy. No, that ruined it. Moving on. As we know, last year a big hit was the film adaptation of the popular crime novel Gone Girl, written by Gillian Flynn, who also did the screenplay, directed by David Fincher, and starring Ben Affleck in quite possibly the best acting he's done since the last time he bothered working with Ben Affleck. Actually, I'd say the best acting he did before that was actually Dogma, because he was awesome in that movie.
Yeah, still working with Damon.
Yeah, seriously, dude, you never should have left Damon and Smith. Anyway. And, well, they were all three of those were supposed to get together again for Strangers on a Plane, Strangers on a Train, a remake of the classic film based off of the Patricia Highsmith novel, but it has been confirmed that it is on hold because, basically put, all three of them are busy as fuck. Gillian Flynn says she'll be busy for the next 3 years, Ben Affleck is Batman, and David Fincher will always have work. It's just that simple.
Pretty much.
Moving on to TV news. For home video this week, you can get the second season of Helix, or, if you're not rich and have to pick one, MS Mystery Science Theater 3000, number 33.
Moving on.
The only trailer we got was a quick little TV spot for the Guardians of the Galaxy Disney XD cartoon series, which exists.
Yeah, just shake my head and move on.
Yeah, it's the movie, but for kids. And the only first look news I got for you is we got to look at the Flash's new costume, which basically now has some yellow trim on it to give it a closer to the comic book look. Shiny. Mainly what we got for you when it comes to television is... Oh, wait. What is that, John?
I just agree.
Oh, okay. Mainly where most of our television news comes in is casting news. I can confirm two things about the X-Files revival coming out later. One, that Robbie Amell, a.k.a. Green Arrow's cousin, and Lauren Ambrose from 6 Feet Under are in the cast as Agents Miller and Einstein, respectively. But we don't care about that, because something else got confirmed. We need 3 guys to really make this the X-Files. And yep, the lone gunmen are coming back.
Is it bad that I'm not particularly excited about this X-Files revival? I mean, as much as I love the show, as much as I
think you should be happy about the lone gunman coming back. I mean, I kind of figured Frohickey was your spirit animal.
Well, again, I understand why they're. Well, actually, I don't understand why they're doing it. The show's been dead for a while, and yes, it's great that it's coming back, but by the same token, I feel like I'm Jeff Goldblum here. You spent so much time thinking about whether or not you could, you didn't think of whether or not you should.
The only thing that worries me about it is, I'm trying to remember, is it Sean Carter? No, it's Carter is the guy's last name, but the guy who made the X-Files and is helming this one. I know X-Files fans think he's a genius. X-Files is a very strong case, I think, for accidental genius. And the other shows he tried to make about that time, Chris Carter, the other shows he tried to make during its tenure is kind of proof of that. And even now, I feel like he doesn't quite understand how television today works, because he's got 6 episodes, but he's going to use the exact same programming formula he used for the 90s show, which is a couple of mythology episodes and everything standalone. That's not what you do when you only have 6 episodes. You do one or the other, you don't do both.
Yeah,
But
I
we'll
agree
see.
there. Moving on.
Moving on. Also in casting news, former S.H.I.E.L.D. man, former The Thing, now a resident member of Gotham, Michael Chiklis, will be playing Captain Nathaniel Barnes, who's basically going to act as a mentor to the young Jim Gordon.
No, that should be pretty good.
Yep. Hopefully the show will be too. The show is. I keep hoping it'll be good. It has good episodes here and there.
It's got over the season 2 slump. Now we're on to season 3. We'll see how it does.
This is season 2.
No, I know.
No, we're about to get season 2.
Again, we're in season 2. They're over the hump. Because again, look. Well, yes, not yet, but still, my point is, every show, season 2 is what usually sucks. And if they can make it through season 2 without sucking too much, usually season 3 is when they snap back together.
Funny, I would argue season 2 is the best season of Supernatural.
I gotta go with season 3.
3, the one where they had a significant drop in episodes because of the strike?
Yeah.
And also had the artifact chick that everybody hated except for me, because I like things that mess with the dynamic.
Yeah, true. Moving on.
Moving on. Also in Arrow, we got a Baron Blitzkrieg, who will be played by Jimmy Akingbola.
Alright.
I just love that we get these really, really super obscure DC characters and villains in these shows. And they're being treated on, like, almost as big deals on the news. And I'm like, John, do you ever, like, whenever one of these comes out, just imagine the look on whoever's got to report its face? Like, they really have to act excited. I'm like, I have no fucking clue who this person is, why people care.
I'm pretty sure when they announced it to the cast, most of the cast are like, who the fuck is this guy? Or the writers, and the writers are like, who the fuck is this guy?
Well, in both cases, they have that at least one person who knows exactly who it is and lost their shit.
Mm-hmm. And his name is always Francis. His
Yeah.
name is always Francis. He speaks with a lisp. And he's like, Jesus, guys, look, it's so great we're getting Baron Blitzkrieg. Do you understand how awesome that is? I mean, nobody knows who it is. I was really into Baron Blitzkrieg before he was actually cool. And it's so cool to finally bring him on. That's the guy.
Pixie is smiling because that's what one of the Sex Muppets sounds like.
He finds Tesman slightly endearing.
Because you see, one time Sometimes I like to put the paste in my mouth and then lick the paper like, and then other times I put the paste in my mouth and I eat glitter and then I poop ornaments and Mom gets mad.
And finally, in casting news, American Horror Story Hotel is bringing back cast member Lily Rabe, who will be playing a serial killer, also known as half of John's sexual fantasies.
Hey, a lot more than half.
So if you're a single serial killer out there, I don't want to know what comments that'll get us. Moving on to news. It has been confirmed, though we don't have an actress for her yet, that the character of Lucy Lane, Lois Lane's sister, will be in the upcoming CBS Supergirl series, because we're going to do everything we can to acknowledge Superman without having to actually acknowledge Superman on this show. And sticking to DC, it is shown that Legends of Tomorrow will actually be an anthology series similar to American Horror Story, where each season is its own self-contained thing. As long as we keep Rory on as Rip Hunter, I don't care. And finally, this is the part where I just can tell already Jay's about to get excited. NBC is seriously considering doing a reboot of Xena Warrior Princess.
Oh.
Complete with Lucy Lawless herself.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he just came. That's awkward.
Oh, it's all over the place and you need a towel.
Oh,
No.
I ain't getting it.
If I get up, it's going to spill all over the floor.
Then you can clean that up too.
At least it didn't require.
We know
Yeah.
that's nice thing.
Again, at least.
I'm just
it didn't
waiting.
require
Okay, it's all over the floor. I'm just waiting for her to go. Evan, this is why we don't have kids yet. Okay, you keep giving him news that just kills any chance of it happening. No. Ooh. Wow, that look on your face. The horror. The horror.
Well,
I
that just got awkward.
It did.
Yeah.
Well, we all know what can relieve awkwardness, and that's video games. Releases for
Video
this week
games!
include Legend of K in HD, Lost Dimensions, N++, The Swindle. The Swindle is called The Swindle, I like that. Angry Birds 2, because some of you have grandparents, and Zeo Drifter. In video game news, Knights of the Old Republic 2, one of the best Star Wars games ever made, can now be available on Steam. Okay, contain your excitement, fellas. Moving on. There's also a new horror game coming out called The Flock, if it's not already, where its main bragging rights is that once all the characters die, the game will officially go offline.
I actually think that's a real novel thing. I always thought to myself, you know, if there was a video game out there one day that once you died in the video game, you could never play it again. Like, you would be permanently banned from the video game and the server for dying. But then again, if that was the case, no one would ever complete the story.
Or play.
No, I'm sure people would play it, but they would just never complete the story.
I think probably a better idea would be that once everybody dies, then the game itself restarts completely. With a little counter showing you how many players are still left in the game.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
That kind of sort of is what the Sword Art Online video game should be.
Makes sense for Sword Art.
Also, for those of you who are fans of the Order part of Law & Order, apparently the class action lawsuits going up against Xbox 360 for a flaw in the system that scratches discs is looks like it's moving forward, as once again an appeal that I believe is being made by Microsoft, I could be wrong, correct me if I am, has basically been denied again, basically, once they run out of these denials for appeals to relook at the case, class action lawsuits can now go full speed ahead.
Mm-hmm. Microsoft's just got to
So
realize that that's always been the problem with the Microsoft systems is they always rush out their game consoles without fixing bugs, without paying attention to minor shit, because they're so concerned about getting it out first or getting it out before everybody else is ready in order to, cash in on those dollars. But, again, Xbox 360 for the, had what, a 52% failure rate?
Damn, I didn't even know that. I was just happy I just don't bought the Xbox.
Yeah, which cost them money because and their customer service was awful for fixing it. I know people that went through like 8 or 9 of those damn units, and each time calling customer support, and then you had to pay to ship it out to them. And if they once they did their investigation, they determined it was not a fault of your own because to cause the ring of death, then they would fix your unit or replace it, and then ship it back to you with reimbursement for the primary shipping. But I was like, that just seems excessive and ridiculous. Anyway, moving on.
And that's why I approve of PlayStation. Our final story for video game news, something a bit uplifting. We let's be honest, we're teenagers here pretty much, despite the fact that we're in our, well, I know John and I are in our 30s. What about you two?
I'll be 31 in a week from tomorrow.
Yeah, Pixie, your birthday present took me a while to find.
Oh, God.
When it shows up at your door, do not slam the door on it.
Yeah, we don't want his cock to get broken.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, it's not a he, it's a she, but you know how hard it is to find an octogenarian stripper?
But as I was saying, we old as we are, we're very childish. We make a lot of childish jokes, and a lot of them are sexually related. But the truth is, sex abuse, it is a thing. It happens. We do not approve of it. But I like to give uplifting stories when I can, when something can make it a little bit better. And in this case, it was John from Ireland. Clearly not the guy's real name. But basically, when he was about 4 years old, he was abused by a trusted neighbor. And it was done so early, it took him a while for him to realize what had happened to him. And he realized that what allowed him to get through it with any kind of mental health whatsoever was that he became a big fan of video games, particularly the Final Fantasy series. And it taught him that other people are flawed and can be horrible too. And it gave him lessons in life that helped him to deal with the trauma of what he went through. So that's a little bit of upliftingness for you this week. That video games, for anybody who looks at you and says video games are just these stupid little forms of entertainment, they bring nothing good, they were able to do this major thing for this one young kid. He's 23 years old right now. They were the closest, they were able to do the best to give him a good, healthy life. They were the best therapy he had. So there we go. Make of that what you will.
Mm-hmm. I
love just lifting up. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say I look at it this way. Anybody who really shits on video games, it's like, oh, it's ruining, it's useless entertainment, it's ruining people. Really? Because you know what? All video games really are, especially the ones the good, the well-made ones. They are really just giant interactive books. So if you have a problem with people playing video games, then I'm going to assume you have a problem with people reading for pleasure, because that's what it is. It's an escape. Sometimes we need to escape real life for a good reason.
Yeah.
So, moving on.
Moving on. Yeah, I love lifting up everybody's spirits just before we move on to comic books because that's my favorite subject. Is everybody's spirit lifted?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, sure. Coming out this week for single issue suggestions, we have Sandman Overture #5 with artist H. Williams III, and of course, original Sandman writer Neil Gaiman, whom we love. Gotham by Midnight Annual #1 basically the X-Files in Gotham. Here's one that I'm sure will put a smile on Pixie's face. Deadpool Secret Wars #3.
I guess.
And of course, here's
Secret
smile. And here's the one that puts a smile on my face. Thor's #2. I am not kidding. This is a police procedural starring multiple versions of Thor.
Yeah.
Frog is the ME. For those who don't know, that's the Frog Thor. He's the ME. We love him. And finally, Star Wars #7, because Star Wars, damn it.
Yep.
Exactly.
Graphic novels this week. The Green Lantern by Jeff Johns, Omnibus Volume 2 at $99.99. Swamp Thing, Root of All Evil, which was written by one of my favorite authors, Grant Morrison, trade paperback at $19.99. Maximized Edition, Volume 4, hardcover, $24.99. And Exo Man of War Deluxe Edition, Volume 2, hardcover at $39.99. Pretty much the only news I got involving comics this week is that DC Comics is suing t-shirt manufacturer Mad Engine over a t-shirt with the Superman logo, except the S is replaced with the word Dad. You may have seen this before at like any given Target recently.
Yeah.
They're basically saying this is a violation of copyright infringement. I'm basically saying, DC, you really don't need the money.
And besides, it's a Pentagon, DC. You don't own the Pentagon. So basic geometric shape. If we were able to, patent shapes, hell, I'd own rhombuses a long time ago.
Well, then they need to sue anything that has the Superman emblem. Okay, Shaquille O'Neal has it tattooed on his body. They need to take money from him.
I'm just gonna wait for them to go after Sesame Street for using the letter S in an episode because it's so close to the Superman logo.
I'm just thinking, you think after the whole opportunities about the creator rights of Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, they'd probably want to avoid any lawsuits involving Superman after that.
Mm-hmm.
Did not do them any favors.
Nope. Moving on.
Don't do anyone any favors. As we all know,
Scratch. Oh, damn it.
scratching does not get rid of death. Just as we lost George Cole, we also lost Groove Shark, creator or founder, Josh Greenberg, at the age of 28. Groove Shark, of course, being a music streaming service. You were taken too young for that. One person, on the other hand, who was not taken too young, and this is the most impressive number we've had on High Class Geek obituaries. Olaf Pooley, who played the main villain in my personal favorite Third Doctor Who story, Inferno, has passed away at the age of 101.
Holy crap.
Huzzah.
Wow.
It's sad that you're gone, sir, but at the same time, holy shite! Your ass was old!
Yeah.
And with that, we move on to science.
Thanks!
Turns. Do-do.
Also, only one bit of science news. You see, now that San Diego Comic-Con is over, you only got so much to report. This, on the other hand, this one bit of news, if we're going quality over quantity, we got some fucking good quality science news here. Kepler 452b. This is a potentially, by Earth standards, habitable planet.
Habitable.
Hmm?
Habitable. Not habitable. Correcting your English, motherfucker.
I can't get on you because I correct pronunciations all the time. Anyway, habitable planet. The correct distance it needs necessary from a star so we can have a similar environment to the one Earth has. Bigger than Earth, I think 60% bigger if I remember correctly. The important place is we now have a place where we can send a Captain James T. Kirk to make sweet alien love. Where, realistically, he probably won't need a suit. Probably.
I look at it this way. I think it gives all the anybody who wants to be kind of a smart ass to Earth Day hippies and like, what's the only planet we have? Kepler. We're just not there yet. It's there. We can use it.
Woohoo! A whole new place to put our stuff. So there we go.
Looks like Kepler could use some freedom.
And of course, another fun thing to do, since we're already talking about space, is we move on to miscellaneous, our final subject, more specifically the merchandise portion of miscellaneous. It's good we're talking about space, because I'd say the biggest piece of merchandise that anybody's talked about in the last week was the holy shit 8-foot by 12-foot Millennium Falcon by Hot Toys. Motherfucker, I want it.
It's big.
It's big.
Not as big as it. I could have sworn I reported this before, but you guys are aware that there is a man out in Montana who is building a 1-to-1 scale model replica of the Millennium Falcon.
Yes, I believe you reported that before, but here's the difference. That is a replica by one man for his personal use. This is a toy that will be released to the public market.
Oh, no, that's the reason he's doing it, is he wants to open it to the public.
Yes, but I don't want to have to travel to him. I want to have it come to me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it'll go on tour.
Well, I'm not kidding. I kind of want to be like the dude in that one commercial where him and his wife are constantly giving each other gifts, sort of one-upping each other. She gets him the actual Falcon.
Actually, I can just see that divorce happening where she just puts a note on the door. You can keep the house, I'm taking the car, and flies off the Millennium Falcon.
I'm also willing to settle for a fully functioning version of the keychain from Ant-Man. Anybody who's seen Ant-Man knows exactly what I'm talking about, knows exactly why I want it fully functioning. Oh, what a sweet payoff that was.
Like, I have not seen it yet, but it is on my agenda for later this week.
You're smart enough that you're like me. The moment you see the keychain, you're going to know exactly what it is and just be waiting for it.
Probably so.
Also, from Hot Toys had a lot of merch this week. They have also released a wow lifelike figure at 18 inches, if I remember correctly, of Princess Leia.
Awesome.
When I mean lifelike, I mean it's like they went back in time and asked her to pose for the sculpt for it. I mean, wow.
Does it come complete with duct tape boobs? Because there are no bras in space. And any true Star Wars geek gets that joke.
Oh God, I do remember the George Lucas thing. Remember, we were this close to having her as Carrie.
Moving on.
And she came right out and said that that she didn't turn it down. It wasn't because, hey, good, Ant-Man again. Speaking of Hot Toys again, they've released their new miniature, an actual miniature replica of Scott Lang in the Ant-Man costume, riding his favorite ant, Antony. Only thing I have to say is I'm not 100% sure that counts as a miniature.
Just kind of looking like going, even in the Marvel universe, you can't escape the puns.
And finally, on web news. How entertaining the story is, I guess, is completely dependent on which side of it you're on. But there is this website called Ashley Madison.
I think this is fucking disgusting.
For those of you who don't already know, Jixie is a resident married couple, and we love them. We love them very much. They actually have a very wonderful, heartwarming story of how they got together.
Thank you.
You guys are a movie waiting to happen. You're so adorable.
Sex Muppets, the movie!
It's Sex Muppets from Uranus, the movie, yes. And I very much want to make a movie called that and make it just a romantic comedy about how those two got together.
And then it turns out to be about nothing but Sex Muppets at the end. So for like the first 10 minutes, we'll get them to have their kids there, and they're like, oh, this must be a good, wholesome movie. Look, there's a beautiful love story. And about 10, 20 minutes in, boom, dick puppet. Bow. Throw it
So
out there.
So it's like Pixar meets Meet the Feebles.
I need
Well,
a copy of that movie, damn it.
Yeah.
I can't even find my copy anymore, so don't feel bad.
anyway, Ashley Madison, for those who don't know, is a website. No way around it. They don't beat around the bush. This is to help married people cheat on their spouses. In other words, this is something that would have made Don Draper's life a little too easy if it existed in the 60s. Yes, there are Don Draper jokes about this. Well, someone's hacked into this company. Can't imagine why. It's not like anybody would have grudges against it or anything. And basically has threatened it, saying, if you don't shut your shit down, we are going to take your 40 million members, and we're going to release some info and names.
The fact that there's that many members.
Yeah. That's what's disgusting about it. I read the article. It was absolutely appalling.
You see, I don't like this just for the simple fact that, you know what, yes, what they're doing is deplorable. But by the same token, they're creating an environment where people know what's going on with each other, and it's the spouse's fault for not telling their spouse. And if somebody's willing to hack this information and release it later, then what's going to happen to other sites that are literally about, what's going to happen to fetish dating sites, regular dating sites? It's just not, it's not kosher. Why would you do this? Yes, it's a horrible thing, but it's no worse than a dozen other websites out there. Why this one? Why destroy people's lives when they're already in the process of destroying it themselves?
I definitely see your point when you say it that way, John, because let's be honest, we all know for a fact there's no such thing as a dating site that doesn't have a married person on there. At least several that are actually openly saying, I'm married but looking for other people. Yeah. Some of them clearly without their spouses knowing. I don't know. It's definitely it's not an easy issue. It's not something we could spend another hour just discussing this, and I think we'll barely scratch the surface of all the ethical issues on both sides of this thing.
The simplest thing is, you have somebody who disagrees with that website, and they have broken the website's privacy, and they aren't threatening the website's productivity, they're threatening the users. And that's what's not right. That's what's not cool.
Well, they have this website called she'sahomewrecker.com, where you can basically go and list the person's name, where they live, and their age, and then tell your story about how she wrecked your family or your relationship. And other people can go there and report other home wreckers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just going to come out and say it. And there's even a book that points this out. We need to stop using the internet to shame people.
Exactly.
It's one thing when you're shaming them for a good reason, but it's another thing, again, this is just deplorable because, again, it's not attacking the website. The website can change their name and open up a week later, no one's the wiser. But every user that gets put out there, that's not fair to them.
Yeah.
And, if this is the start of a trend, think about what happens next. Think about, people that, get on Tinder. People that are on just generally looking for someone,
This is a very weird, horrible alternative to the world of 1984, where it's not a corrupt government that's actually using surveillance against the people, but it's strangely enough a corrupt populace with a powerless government. I don't want to read that fiction.
It comes down to something simple. It's censorship. That's what it is. Plain and simple. It's censorship. Somebody doesn't like what these people are doing, and they're trying to shut them down, and the way they're trying to do it is by threatening their users, threatening the audience. It's like no different than people that would go to a Mapplethorpe exhibit and try and destroy the artwork there because they didn't agree with it. Rant over.
I love it when we leave them on a happy note where they just laugh their asses off. I really do. Be sure to be here next week for John's famous 7 words you can't say on television skit. One of these days I'll actually remember what the 7 words are.
About to say, really 7? I don't think so, man.
Well, it's like tits, ass, motherfucker.
Oh, Evan, I don't know why you're even talking about this. I guarantee you have a tablet in front of you, a computer in front of you, and you're not looking this up immediately.
And a phone, an iPhone at that.
Well, the tablet's actually all the way over there, but no, we've said our news. We're towards the end. I'm just hoping I can get something funny out of John, so that we don't have people looking at us all like, I came here to laugh at the joke about your ass and sex puppets, and now there's a whole ethical thing in my head hurts.
Okay.
What is he, like some kind of clown to you, huh? Is he like fighting like ha 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 funny?
Shut up, Pinky.
That's why we have you on the show.
Just shut up, Pinky.
This has been High Class Geek.
Why are you pulling me into this? I wasn't doing the bad accent.
I said Pinky, not Pixie.
This
Okay,
has
you
been
want to make
High
people
Class
laugh?
Geek.
Screw it. My name is Wilfred Brimley. There. Monkey. Monkey work is done.
And that was, of course, the angry monkey himself, John Little.
I actually trimmed my pubic hairs to match my gigantic mustache because my name is Wilfred Brimley. Every
With
morning
this-
I get up and I plunge little Wilfred vigorously into a piping hot bowl of Quaker Oats.
With assistance from everyone's favorite married geek couple, Jixie.
Bye.
Yes.
Who I am
Hey,
sure at this
Dixie,
point
you want to
spends
play
every
finding a
week
marble in the oatmeal?
I like to put prunes in my oatmeal.
And I, of course, am your friendly neighborhood geek as well, Evan Ransom. And I'm thinking I may have put together an ensemble where I'm the serious one, and that kind of disturbs me. We will be here next week at Sunday night, as we are every Sunday at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
You're the sex walrus.
Thank you, and good night, Wilfred Brimley.